When colors compete with each other, our photos lose impact. So in this photo editing tutorial, I'll show you how we can work with our colors to combine them into a more unified palette and give our audience a much more pleasing photo to look at. Right, let's get into it. So this underexposed photo went through a develop raw setting, and then Sky AI was used just to reintroduce a bit of blue into that washed out sky up above. However, the colors really are all over the place. And it's pretty evident that they're all over the place, but just in case we're in any doubt, what we can do is grab the saturation slider and boost that up, and it is so clear to see that we've got just about every color of the spectrum going on here. But what I'd like to do to get around that is play into a complementary color scheme where we're going to lean into the blues and the oranges being complementary colors, and we're going to try and tone down the greens and yellows, but not through a point of desaturating them, but actually shifting those colors towards the orange and the blue. So how do we do that? Well, we're going to do it in a couple of steps with the color tool. Now we have this area down here, HSL. That stands for the hue, the saturation, and the luminance. Those are the three aspects that make up any color. The hue is what we actually think of as color. We can take the oranges to red, we can take them more towards a green. We think of that as color, but there are other aspects. So that is saturation. We can just take the color away, or we can make it more intense. Now I'm just working with the oranges at the moment. The other thing we can do is make the color brighter or darker. So those are the three elements of color, and we're going to manipulate those so that we can create a more harmonized palette, or a complementary palette is what I'm going to go for here. I'm going to lean into the fact that we have blue and orange, which are complementary colors, and I'm going to pull back the greens, which I find distracting. Even the yellow of her dress here, that's just one more color that's being added into the mix to confuse the viewer, confuse our eye, and I just want to simplify this into an orange-blue color scheme. So we're not going to achieve all of that in just one application of this tool. We're going to need to do it a couple of times, but I'll show you how that works. It's very simple. So the first thing I'm going to do is work with the hue of the green. So we can either take the green more to a nuclear toxic kind of aqua there, or we can take it more towards a yellow. Every color is shiftable to the color next to it. So the green, the color above, is yellow. If I take the green to the left, we head towards the color above. If I take the green towards the right, we head towards the color underneath, which is cyan. So what we're able to do is start to bunch the colors towards just one. So I'm going to be pushing the greens and other colors towards the yellow and orange. I'm now going to grab the yellow slider and just start to ease that towards the orange. I don't want to go really orange with it. It's just going to be a little bit too much. We're going to do this with a little bit of subtlety, but maybe a bit stronger than I normally would, just so that you can clearly see the effect. I'm going to leave the orange alone because, well, the orange is already orange, but we do have potentially a bit of red just above the horse here. You can see that if I shift the slider here, we can go towards orange or send it more towards magenta. I said that the colors go to the one above. Red obviously loops back round all the way down here to the bottom, magenta. But I want to push that red more towards orange. I don't want any red in there. But you can see that as I do that, we're actually decolorizing the horse. The horse obviously has a lot of red in its hairs, and we don't really want to kind of do that to the horse. So maybe we'll just have a little smidge of that so we don't have the rogue red hue in there. If you're ever unsure of what color exists where in your photo and you're struggling to see it, I would recommend grab the saturation slider and push that really high. You know, this is only a temporary thing, but it's going to clearly allow you to see what color is where whilst you're making these adjustments. Okay, I'm just going to reset that for now. And what I'd like to do is try and shift this green even further. I feel like I haven't really taken care of the green. It still exists. I just want that to be a nice yellow that plays into the rest of the photo. So to do that, I'm closing the original color tool we applied down. And now when I click on this tool, that has given me a brand new color tool. I can go again. So now I can talk into the yellows because we shifted those greens slightly over. We can move the greens again towards yellow if there's any left. But now those greens have moved towards yellow. Now if I grab them, we can really aggressively push those towards orange. This is too much. This isn't what I'm after. I don't want to go this heavy-handed with it, but you can clearly see how powerful this can be when we double down on this tool. Sometimes when we do manipulate the hues this heavily, it pays to come into the other color aspects, the saturation and the luminance, and have a little play with those, because sometimes you can actually just ease it off again by working with those other aspects of the color. So by getting the saturation of the yellow now and just dropping that down to the left ever so slightly, shifting that green towards the yellow becomes just a little bit more believable. And as a comparison, let's go back and have a look at the original version that we were dealing with. And straight away, all of those colors just jump out at you. And that might be absolutely fine. You might like a really realistic photo that does have all of the colors of the spectrum in it. However, oftentimes for a more professional look, you want to minimize your color palette. You don't need to be as binary as I have been here, where I've just gone for blue and orange yellow. You can be a little bit more subtle with things, but I just wanted to show you clearly how this effect actually works. And while we are here, why don't we see what else the color tool can do for us, because it can be very nice to use it to actually sculpt the light in our scene as well. If you've been enjoying the photo editing I'm doing in Luminar Neo and you don't have it yet and think it'd be a good fit for your photo editing, I have a link in the description that can get Neo for you at the best price available right now. It's a win-win because you get to save money and I also get a small commission from that, which just helps support me keep creating this free content here on YouTube. All right, let's carry on editing. So coming into the luminance section, if I wanted to make her poncho gown thing here look darker, what I can do is grab the blue slider and start to drop that down and see how much sort of richer that actually looks. I feel like the original blue, it's just a little bit too much, too vibrant, too bright. Bring it down and yeah, just neutralizes it a little bit. And I think that looks much nicer. Now let's say we wanted to darken down the bottom right of the horse, because maybe that's just too bright and we want the attention to stay at the face of the horse, not so much around the bottom of the body. What we can do is now grab the dark slider for the orange and bring that down. You're gonna be like, well, that's affecting the whole photo. Why would I do that? You know, don't worry at all. That's why we have masks, and that allows us to paint this effect in only where we want it. So for example, if I clear this mask, we're able to come in and paint this effect in. So I might just paint a little bit down the body of the horse there. As we know, that's going to darken that down. I can make our brush a bit smaller and then just paint over the dress, over the throw that our model was wearing. And that's just going to introduce that darker blue tonality to that. Let's see, before and after, before and after. Unifying the color palette has definitely helped to give a more cohesive look, but I still feel this photo is missing a bit of soul. When I photographed this, it was backlit, I had sun behind the model, but there's no flare, there's no light, it's just a bit dead. And if you ever find yourself in that situation with your photos, you'll probably want to learn these lighting techniques right here. So I'll see you in that video for one of my favorite videos in this series. Bye bye for now.